Maybe on your analysis of trends, you're a VC focusing on consumer goods and the retail space. You bring together large companies as well as solution providers, startups, and scale-ups. What do you see as being 3-4 core trends into your portfolio companies?
Well, first of all, thank you, Pierre. Thank you, everyone, for this. This is amazing. This is super exciting to be here in Paris and in France, where there's a lot of things happening now. So it's very exciting to be here. I guess at Spin Ventures, we are on a mission to accelerate the transition to circularity, or as we say more technically, to decarbonize the value chain in consumer and retail industries, namely clothing and apparel, accessories, footwear, consumer durables. So pretty much what we buy, but we're starting with those under the regulatory push that's happening now. And I guess after 12 years, we've identified 5 key sectors to invest in and to bring together. One being data. If we can measure, we can manage, so there's no point in achieving. So data for decarbonizations and for circularity, it's a big pillar. And there's amazing number of startups out there that are indeed analyzing supply and value chains, providing those data, feeding those data in ESG and other carbon accounting software. The second part is the decarbonizations of the supply and value chain, so AI applied to logistics. So how can we optimize our storage? How can we optimize our manufacturing? How can we optimize the space we use in the truck? So there's a whole sort of like innovations happening at the intersections of EV, transport, logistics, AI, fascinating. But of course, it needs to be connected with the data software, because otherwise, you are increasing on one side and you don't on the other. And then, of course, we're talking about material, and the challenges that indeed decreasing the material impact represent, because of course you do want to decrease your carbon impact, but you want to keep your quality, especially if we're going into longevity as a strategy, which is one that it's being adopted as we speak. And so in the material space, we are witnessing a renaissance of most amazing biomaterials, so materials that replace fossil fuel as a base ingredient, and it's a whole planet of like bioscience, from cellulose glitter to fur made out of plants to other hundreds of innovations, of course at the beginning, and they need to test the performance in order to be scalable. And I guess after the materials, we're looking at new ways to manufacture product. So there's additive and distributed manufacturing, which will allow in the future to shift from large-scale manufacturing with low, let's just say, higher margin on higher volume to like locally produce recycled goods, to the use of 3D and 4D printing. And that's happening for plastic or reused plastic, as well as beginning to happen also for other categories such as the clothing and apparel. Walmart has just run a pilot of like 300 stores 3D printing clothing. So there's, and I guess last but not least, and this is perhaps the most exciting, is where all of these and other sectors come to place. It's the way we purchase, consume, and use goods, called circularity or re-commerce. It captures a variety of innovations. One we've seen here, and we've also heard about company moving into longevity as a strategy. But I guess we're shifting from what is called a linear model of creating and selling goods to more circular models. So circular models, it's like a trend itself, but it includes the reuse of the products, the repair of the products, the replacement of the parts of the products, the redesigning, of course, of the products, the rental of the products, so shifting from sales of products to products as a service. And we have seen the most incredible, weird innovations. We've seen furniture as a service, which makes sense because you may want to use the table for the summer. But we've also seen nappy as a service and other crazy innovations that are indeed growing. And but one point, I guess, which is the most fascinating aspects of all of this, is all of these products, all of these areas of innovations, they are designed to decarbonize, yes, But what is not as often sort of like shared is all of these models contribute to incremental revenues, operational efficiencies, and long-term increased profitability. And that is, I guess, the most exciting part that I guess we always try to promote. Of course, there are challenges to implement those models, especially in large corporations, but that is, I guess, the good message.
That's exciting. So it's not just gloom and doom. It's also feasible, but now we need to scale.